Dr. Warner, I wanna pivot here and ask a question about like when to take that risk. And I look in the room in front of me here and I see a lot of potential future surgeons and physicians who invested time and money into a career. And then at some point in time, they might have a chance to jump into entrepreneurship, not with both feet, just with one foot. But I want to give you two perspectives and have you reflect on kind of which one, how you would balance them. There's this one perspective in entrepreneurship, which is there is no plan B. You know, Arnold Schwarzenegger is like very famous for saying this, like I went to the States, I had no plan B, I had a plan A, and it's the all-in mentality. Very famous, right? Then there's the other mentality, which is sometimes called hybrid entrepreneurship. And we've done research on this. It tends to work sometimes. And it's this idea of, and even non-academically, Peter Thiel talks about this idea of you'd rather be the 100th, co-founder or employee at Google than the founder of your own company, right? So, how do students or future entrepreneurs choose? Do I go all in? Do I go hybrid? Do I work for somebody else as the 100th entrepreneur advisor, or do I do my own thing? So, how do you balance these choices and these risks?
There's so many ways to answer this. I think, let me give you some basis for exploring this question yourself. I can answer this from the viewpoint of Clayton Christensen, who wrote a wonderful book and has a wonderful article entitled The Innovator's DNA. It's about innovators and successful entrepreneurs. They studied something like 15,000 successful entrepreneurs and the individuals that supported them, I mean, thousands of CEOs. And they looked for the characteristics of those individuals. It was based on another concept he had entitled, who has the DNA to innovate? It's not DNA. It's really nurture, not nature. And so there are 5 characteristics of individuals that really were the successful entrepreneurs. And you should ask yourself if you have the ability to develop those characteristics. You don't have to be born as somebody who is an entrepreneur. In fact, probably you're not. Many of these people are very plain, Look at Steven Spielberg. I mean, he went to Long Beach State and read comic books under his bed. And then what did he do in his life? He was an entrepreneur and a very successful one in movies, right? So you have to have a passion, and you have to have a curiosity, and you have to have an open mind. You have to have a certain level of maturity. You have to have the ability to, or be ready to, take a risk, to pivot away from the trajectory you have in your career. You cannot be everything at the same time. You cannot be a great academician necessarily and an entrepreneur at the same time. You cannot be a leader of a major organization, having to manage up and manage down, and be a successful innovator and entrepreneur at the same time. You have to make choices in life. And you have to be ready to make those choices and mitigate your risk, which is why if you do it early, the people like Arnold, you have a problem. The people like Arnold Schwarzenegger that says, I had no plan B, they tell you after plan A worked.
Yeah,
all the people.
To be fair, there might have been a plan B and C and D, and there's these pivots.
Yeah, but they don't remember it, and you never have the person tell you, I tried this and this and that. They always failed, and I wish I didn't do that. But there are lots of those people. They just don't get the microphone.